So we are taking a stroll in Cancun. This is my favorite area in Cancun. It's also the most popular. Rio Cancun is right here. Rio past Las Americas, Dream Sands. And I'm walking to get a haircut. You will see how dramatically my face changes just after 12 days of not getting a haircut. I normally have to do it every 7 or 8 days. So you will see how dynamically my face will change or the shape will look after I get a haircut. That's where Coco Bongo is. And it's also where Mandala, the day club, nightclub is. It is the busiest part. It is the best part of the hotel zone. I'm gonna stroll there, footloose and fancy free. I've walked there many times and I don't even have to worry about it. It is raining a little bit, but that just makes it like a typical day here. It's a Thursday, about 5:30 p.m. So we're gonna get a little bit of a sunset as well as some nighttime action as well. So you see what it's like walking there during the day. Might hang out there a little bit. Like I said, I gotta get a haircut. Might do some pharmacy stuff. I might even stop into some of those really commercial, cheesy places to get a drink or maybe something to eat. But most importantly, I'm just gonna walk around so you can see what it's like, because a lot of people are really misinformed about walking around in Cancun. By far, not even close, so much safer than any major city in America. I mean, does this look dangerous to you? I might get approached a little bit once I get to the central part. People will want me to walk into a club or they might see me with a camera. I mean, it's nothing like walking around in Montego Bay. Not that you really would walk around in Montego Bay by yourself. And not all pharmacies are the same, although they're much like the taxi racket. When you work your way up, it's pretty much one owner, but they do differ a little bit more than the taxis because only a few can sell the good stuff without a prescription. And that basically is a certain brand of pharmacy. So I think there's Pharmacies del Oro. There's a few of them. Some you need a prescription for the good stuff, depending on what you think the good stuff is. Some you can actually just walk right in and get the good stuff. And then others just have the word pharmacy on there, but they're really just selling like Tylenol and Band-Aids and sunscreen lotion. So although when you work your way up to the top, it basically is the same owner, the pharmacies definitely differ a little bit more than say like the taxis. So we got Rio Palace Las Americas behind me. A lot of people consider this to be the premier Rio in all of Cancun. Better than Cuculcan, which doesn't take much. Better than Palace Peninsula, which actually might give this a run after its remodel. I haven't stayed here yet because it's on, I think, a Generation 2 Rio design, and I'm just waiting for it to be remodeled. It definitely needs one, and with my luck, the second I stay there is the second they're gonna announce the remodel. So I'm holding out on Rio Palace Las Americas, but I definitely wanna check it out because many people consider this all-inclusive to be the best adult-only Rio in Cancun. And this was one of my favorite stays of all time, Rio Cancun. I was amazed at the value. I was amazed at the energy. I always said in that video that it was a very adult-forward crowd, not too many kids. And like a few months after I left that place, they officially turned it into adult only. If you want to see a decent Rio pool scene from back in the day when I actually put a lot of effort and pride into the pool design, the Rio pools here at Rio Cancun are some of the best you're going to find at any Rio. It's much more like walking around in Beverly Hills than it is walking around in, say, Guatemala or a lesser developed country. People just have the wrong idea of what this is. And does this look unsafe to you? This is one of the most peaceful walks and beautiful in a city that you're ever going to get. All the pharmacies look extremely similar, if not identical. They all kind of have a red and white colorway and like a Swiss cross. You have to pay attention to the name because there is Pharmacies del Oro, there's a few more, but they all look white and red with that Swiss cross. That one right there is one of the good ones from my recollection. It just says pharmacies and it's got a yellow signage of all the good stuff that they sell and what the prices are. So I actually might walk in there later after I'm done. This is a very realistic snapshot of what it's like in Cancun. I'm gonna walk into the Starbucks. I've never been in here and I definitely don't know my drink in Spanish, but I'm gonna see how well they do. And you can get a glimpse of what it's like at a Cancun Starbucks in Mexico. Hola, hola. ¿Hablas inglés un poco? Yeah, me gusta like a skinny vanilla latte.
Sure.
So venti,
20?
hot, and then skim milk, and then sugar-free vanilla.
Perfect.
Whip un poco?
Wait
Yeah.
a little bit?
Yeah.
No problem. What is your name?
James. Gracias. So that was oddly easy. understood my very, very broken Spanish. In fact, they understood my English, which is probably broken as well. Why do you get the better experiences international than America? Marriott London, way better than any Marriott in America. Jamaica KFC, way better than any American KFC. Starbucks Mexico, way better than any Starbucks in America. Did you see the size of that coffee in a proper mug? Fresh whipped cream, tastier than any Starbucks I've ever had. We got to talk about the low level of American quality and these American companies giving better quality to patrons in other countries. You want to know why that is? Because we Americans would put up with it. You got to be really careful when you're walking. Things are not quite as right-angled and quadranted as they are in America. Vendors, but they're not harassing you. They're just simply on the side. If you want to walk up to them, you can. And that actually makes me want to actually walk up and help them because they're so respectful. How dangerous has this been so far? So dangerous. You could do this at 2 a.m. You could do this at 7 a.m., 6 p.m. It's like this all the time. It's iron fist rule, okay? It's kind of Saddam Hussein-esque. When you realize the way that he kind of kept order and peace in the Middle East, just through brutal strength. And obviously, he is a horrendous individual who committed crazy crimes against humanity. The broader point, the philosophical point is sometimes it takes an iron fist to rule, and there is an underlying iron fist above the police and political system that keeps things in check and to make sure that us tourists are okay walking here, because really this entire town is built on tourism. That was like walking around in Brentwood. It's beautiful, peaceful, not even approached once. If there was someone on the street, they were just by themselves off in the corner. So now we are reaching the busiest area. Coco Bongo is right here. And right now it's about 6 p.m. So around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., this place really comes alive on any night. It's wild. Like just driving through here, you can see these cars are easily passing by. This is stop and go traffic around 8 p.m. all the way to 11 p.m. midnight, where if you're walking through here, you're gonna beat the car wherever it's going. It's actually better because walk is to not get a taxi. So we might get approached here a few times because that's just the nature of the beast, but not even close to what it would be anywhere else. Even in America, you know, you got guys at the door stopping you, getting in front of you, like in Vegas, trying to give you something, trying to talk to you. This is refreshing. We got Mandala Beach right here. Mandala Day Club and Nightclub. This is probably the most famous club and lounge still in Cancun. It has been for about, I'd say 2 decades now. Definitely a spot to be. And then this is the Forum. This is where Coco Bongo is. And this is the most electric part of Cancun. Again, at 10 p.m., you can't even walk across the street because cars are just stacked. And this slows down to a halt. If you've never been to Cancun and you're trying to get to this area or leave this area in a taxi, forget about it. You're better off walking down to a side street and then getting a cab going the other way, or just figuring out a better spot to get picked up at, because this is a complete standstill at this time. But we got the legendary senior frogs, Coco Bongo behind me, the legitimate Coco Bongo, and you know, you got the Hooters, and you can just hear the ambiance and the energy. I'll come out after my haircut. It should be dark, and this will be a lot different. This Forum area is actually like a 3-level indoor mall. I would be shocked if I walk across here and through this main entrance of the mall and I am not stopped and talked to. Here we go. Maybe because I have this camera, people don't approach me. Not at all. So we got a pregame spot right here behind me. One of the most famous Cancun signs. You probably have seen this on social media a million times. Coco Bongo Beach is right behind me. Definitely the most famous and popular part of the Cancun Hotel Zone. See the barber shop on the 3rd floor? That's where I'm going. This escalator is tricky because it goes right from floor number 1 to floor number 3. But the escalators from 2 are never working. There are a lot of golden sisters in Cancun. There's a couple that I go to. This newest one at the mall is usually the most convenient. So I'm gonna walk in here, it looks like they are open, and then walk back. These escalators are weird. They go from 1 to 3, and getting back down is hard to find. Getting to floor number 2 is even harder. But what a difference a haircut makes, right? This is just the sides. The top was left untouched. It changes the entire shape of my face, I think. So that's why I have to get a haircut like every week just to maintain. But yeah, golden scissors here. There's like 4 or 5 locations. You gotta be careful which one you go to because they're in different spots. But since they moved here in the mall, it's definitely my favorite spot just because it's centrally located. And I do like coming here just to keep my pulse on the action. So there's a lot more energy here right now in terms of the music and the vibe. It's still very early, only 7 p.m. If I came back at like 10 p.m. or 11, this place would be mobbed. Getting it out of here is just always impossible. These escalators have never been on. They've never been on. They're coming to Cancun for like 10 years, maybe 15. These escalators have never worked. So it's impossible to get out of here. I think that's by design. You gotta somehow get to 2 and then somehow get to 1, even though you entered from 1 to 3. Here's what I was talking about earlier where they say pharmacy, but it's really a gift shop that has like Tylenol and sunscreen. Not all pharmacies are created equal. And there's a lot here, but there's also like nothing here. Outside of like knickknacks and tobacco shop and like tourist stuff, there's really not much here besides Coco Bongo, the tobacco shop, and then golden scissors. I had one rule, and that's to stay away from the vape shop, which I'm going to do. I'm going on like 4 months, 5 months, feeling good, flying high, and this is why you can't get out of here. Because these escalators are hidden and they don't work. Walking down escalators is always trippy, literally. And if you do, you're donezo. So we're back on the ground floor. If you just heard the energy, you would think there's a lot going on, but it's very, very early. Cancun is like a lot of major cities in America where it really doesn't go off until like 10 or 11. And if you came back at 10 or 11, specifically tomorrow night or Saturday night, it would be wild. Famous Cancun sign right behind me. This place is filling out a little bit. It's certainly a lot busier than when it was when I walked in. Looks like some rain came down again, so that probably prevented some people from coming out. But this is a nightlife area. This is not really a restaurant area. This is a Senior Frogs, Coco Bongo, Mandala. This is a drink area for sure. Oh man, walking by Mandala brings back so many memories. I actually haven't been to the beach club here. I'd like to check that out at some time. I was going to stay at Rio Caribe for the entire week and do all 4 Rio parties and also come back down here and get reacquainted with this place because it's been a long time. It's changed, but it also hasn't changed at all. It's kind of one of those places, you know? And as I said before, the street vendors just politely and cleanly set up on the side here, not bothering anyone, which makes people more apropos to actually stopping by. It's the way it should be. They got things figured out in Cancun. What city does this remind you of in America or in Canada or anywhere? And obviously not climate-wise, but in terms of just the way it's laid out and how peaceful it is and how clean it is. I'm actually having a hard time placing this city in America. It seems like a very upscale neighborhood in like Miami. I wouldn't even dare label this Californian. It's way too peaceful and clean and well kept. And one thing I also like about Cancun, walking around in general, is that it is very intuitive. It's just like Las Vegas. It's a strip. You can walk up it, you can walk down it. You're either staying on the top or on the bottom or in the middle. It's just simple. It's stupid simple to walk and navigate. I've been meaning to stay here. In fact, this is where I will probably stay when I go back and have my nightlife series, when I just go to the restaurants and party where we just were. This A-loft looks really interesting. It's not cheap, but it has a lot of popularity. And I think it's exactly what I'm looking for in terms of a place to stay that's not an all-inclusive resort, that has a great location. I mean, there's Rio Las Americas and Rio Cancun right behind me, which is a few minutes away from the Forum where I got my haircut. This is a perfect area, and that A-loft will probably be the ticket because it's something different too. It's very like Gen Z, very fun, vibrant colors. And just like that, we're basically back to where we started just a little while ago. We got the Starbucks right here, and then we have Rio right here. And that's that. That's how simple it is. The Cancun Strip. So that's as crazy as it's gonna get. That's as crazy as it's going to get. Some guy saying what's up on a YouTube channel. What does this remind you of? Is there an American or a Canadian city that's like this? Obviously not. Hey! See, that's as crazy as it gets. I'm gonna pop in here. Hey, love. That pharmacy is legendary. That's a good one. That is one that you definitely want to know. That is the one to go to, the one right across from Riu Cancun. They got all the good. They got the good. They got the good that's hidden underneath the counter. And when you walk in, they're like, here's what we really got. No prescription needed. Yeah, that place is legit. That's the way pharmacies should be. Just walk in, and if you want some if you want a Z-Pack, if you want some migraine medication, if you maybe want to stock up in case there's another worldwide craze like there was a couple of years ago, just keep all that stuff on hand. And if you're traveling like I do, it's very smart because you never know where you're going to be, and you come down with something, it can literally be a lifesaver. So I always like going in there. Better safe than sorry. Don't need a prescription. Just simple. So that's the way it should be. I love shopping at the pharmacy. So what a perfect way to end the night. That's what walking through Cancun is like. You saw it pre-dinner, afternoon, and then what it's like when the sun goes down. And I promise you, this is identical to the experience that you're going to get. This is same experience every time. It's so predictable and so tranquil, it's almost really uneventful and boring. It's probably one of the loveliest strolls you're ever going to have. Walking around is so easy, whether going up or down, whether you're staying at the top or the bottom or just in the middle. It's such an awesome walk. It's lit up at night, easy to navigate, so safe. What, maybe like someone honked their horn and said hello, that's it. So that's what it's like walking through Cancun. I will see you in the next video.